Jim Clark, President and CEO of Boys and Girls Clubs of America. I'm excited to invite you to a very special event, the Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi's annual Dance Like the Stars Gala. It's a great time and a great event, and I can speak from experience. Several years ago, I was one of the participants, so I know you're going to enjoy this. It's happening on Saturday, July 19th at 6:30 p.m. at the Cadence Bank Arena. Visit www.bgcnms.org to get your tickets, and we'll see you at Dance Like the Stars.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and the showers have finally hit North Mississippi. Moved in all throughout the afternoon, and we've experienced some rain-cooled air as a result. Not too bad temperature-wise, but we've talked about that give-and-take forecast, and it's happening in full force as we take a look outside. I mean, let's just go ahead and jump to those headlines here at the Room to Room Weather Center. Absolutely great when it comes to the temperatures, but the latest on the rain, that's going to be our main theme heading into today and for your start of your weekend. But how much longer does that rain and the cooler weather stick around for? That's the golden question, and we'll answer that here coming up in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And also buckle up for next week. Guys, the weather pattern is always changing, and we're going to see those temperatures climb and climb and climb heading into parts of next week. And if you thought it was hot this week, just buckle up. It's going to get even worse towards next week. So that's why we say enjoy the cooler air for right now, because 90 degrees feels like 102. That's a few degrees difference than what we had yesterday, and a few degrees difference in the declining pattern. So it's not nearly as high as what we saw earlier. Saw a few light showers popping up. You can see a lot of those showers very light in nature, getting that look there on our map, on the Mississippi Live Weather map. But North Mississippi Storm Chasers giving us eyes in the sky, and so far not seeing anything that is overly impactful as of this point. We jump down towards Greenwood, and Greenwood actually in a heat advisory today, but luckily a few of these showers that are bringing some rainfall to the area, cooling off that atmosphere. That's why you see that number be what it is. 82 degrees feels like 93. Those showers are a blessing in disguise. If you don't like the rain, well, then you probably like hot temperatures, because that's the only trade-off that we're going to get. That heat advisory that we mentioned is still in effect until 9 p.m. this evening. You can see Quitman, Bolivar, Tallahatchie, LaFleur, Sunflower, basically the entire Mississippi Delta included in that heat advisory, but does expire here in the next 4 hours or so. So we can handle that, especially with those showers cooling us off from time to time. So not too shabby of a forecast whatsoever, especially relatively speaking to yesterday. Looking at that Mississippi Live Weather radar now, we have a lot to discuss on this graphic because there's just light showers and moderate showers scattered across the region. I'm going to jump back a couple of scans because you can see how these are just built in from the south, those bands of moisture that have circulated more and more into our area. So jumping to the latest of what we're seeing, I mean, the heaviest portions are going to be out there towards Clarksdale with a few lightning strikes as well. Just zooming in on that storm in particular there on Highway 61. You can see about 3 strikes. So this isn't an overly energetic storm, but just enough to have a few rumbles of thunder associated with it, with some heavy downpours as well. I mean, let's go ahead and just get a storm track on this as we head further into our evening. So that one there in Jonestown, as we take it about 15 to 20 miles an hour, we'll say. We'll jump on the higher end and say 19 to 20. You can see Moon 521, Danforth 530, Powell 536, Eagle Landing 547, and then Helena Crossing by about 547. Now this is just for that heaviest portion, but you can see the entire line of storms, and I'm going to expand things out here shortly, of what we're seeing. It's just this band that has developed, and I'm going to draw this out to kind of visualize this a bit more. So bear with me while I draw it out just a bit. But there's a band. There's a band. And those bands honestly extend all the way into at northwest Alabama, as well as it just wraps around that low. And we'll talk about that low here in just a moment of the positioning of it. But all these bands are circulating around it, so it has this counterclockwise motion to it, and that's where these bands, once they get further away from the low, really start to weaken and shrink. So a lot of these, once they get further towards the north, not nearly as impactful. So as we just track out a few of those bands, and I'm going to do the most obvious ones that we're seeing, this one down around Highway 61 there towards Grenada, expanding in that, well, not nearly that fast, but 21 miles an hour. We'll see places like Tippo 507, Sharkey 510, Tillatoba 510, Whitney by 515, and then on into Blue Lake by about 518. Moving up to towards the north, where we're having another one of those bands develop, you can see it's up by Clarksdale, riding Highway 6 basically all the way to Oxford, and moving at about, we'll put this at 20 as well. You're seeing Sledge right about now, Stovall 506, Dickerson 508, Coahoma by 510, and that just updated, so let's see where those are at now. So let's restart. Stovall 506, Dickerson 508, Coahoma 509, Rich by 511, Sessions by 513, and you can see on your screen right there several towns listed in that group. So this is really the bands that we're watching, with more rainfall expected to move in from the south. But luckily we've stayed void of any flash flood warnings. A lot of those actually out there towards the Arkansas region was flash flood warnings in effect for the next couple of hours for El Dorado and just across portions of Camden and Monticello. So that is the primary concerns with this system. Not going to be overly concerned about that for us here in northeast Mississippi or North Mississippi altogether. So that is a great sign for us here, as we know that it could have been way worse with that tropical system building just towards the north. Now I want to look at some of the storm threats that we're seeing across the region, and I'm going to populate quite a bit, because what you're going to see is that we're not seeing anything for wind, we're not seeing anything for hail really. We're getting about maybe a ½ inch to an inch an hour at most with a lot of these storms. You see that one up that we tracked over there by Clarksdale, 2 inches an hour. So that's really the highest that we've seen out of this, but overall not overly concerning for a lot of these showers and storms, and definitely grateful that it wasn't nearly the potential that it was showing even 48 hours ago. So that's really the threat, is going to be the potential for some flooding rainfall, but overall just going to be those summer showers that are developing more and more. You see in our day planner, or the first 12 should I say, those chances stick around into the 9 o'clock hour, but 10% overnight. And 10% is key because that moisture that's circulating around that low, that's what's different. Usually overnight we stay dry in the summer. But since that low is right over the top of us, basically, that's why we still have those rain chances even heading into the next 24 altogether. So looking at that low, still positioned over there in Louisiana and Arkansas, and you can see, let me get my handy dandy marker, as it has that counterclockwise motion around the low, a lot of that moisture is still being pulled in from the Gulf, and on the right side of that low, that's where you're going to see those heightened chances of rainfall. Out towards the west, yes, you're getting some moderate rainfall, but nearly the coverage that we're getting here on the east side of the low. So that's why we're in such an active environment. That's why we said if it tracked into Arkansas and Louisiana, we were going to get the highest chances of rainfall. And now that that's happening, well, the evidence is right there in front of you. So let's go ahead and walk through Futurecast just a bit. That shows you how long that moisture sticks around for. Even by 8, 9 o'clock, a lot of those showers and storms still lingering over North Mississippi, albeit mostly the southern part, but with how active it's been all across the area today, even though models aren't showing it, I would say that everyone in North Mississippi, the entire extent, going to have the potential to see at least a few showers even in post-sunset. But overnight, those showers become much more isolated and much weaker. A lot of these that are popping up are just a light rainfall towards our 3 a.m. on your Saturday, 4 or 5 a.m. They do try to strengthen just a bit to have a few rumbles of thunder with it. So if you're waking up to a few rumbles of thunder and you're in Pontotoc, Union, or Lee County, don't be surprised. It's just those isolated cells that are building a little bit more, since that low is just a bit closer to where we are here in North Mississippi. So closer to the low, the stronger it is, especially when it comes to rainfall rates and rumbles of thunder. So as we head towards Saturday morning, hopefully a lot of us still sleeping in just a bit. So this is about 8 a.m. That coverage still getting a bit more widespread. And as we enter into the 9, 10, 11 o'clock hour, I mean, you'll see it coming up here in just a few minutes, just how widespread those chances are. And that's why we're expecting even heightened chances of rainfall, heightened rainfall outputs for our Saturday. So if you thought today was rainy, well, Saturday could be even more than what we had today. There's your look at the next 24, and we're talking about noontime to 3 p.m. That's your highest chances of rainfall. Watching that in more detail, and we'll track that out here in just a few moments. But yeah, it's going to be a rainy Saturday altogether. I hope that you had any plans that they were indoors, because if they're outdoors, more than likely going to have to reschedule those or postpone them. So coming up in the next 60, we'll track those showers, how long they stick around for, and the entirety of our weekend forecast. All of that coming your way here on Mississippi Live Weather here in the next minute.
We're not just roofers, we're licensed contractors. Local, trusted, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews from your neighbors. We don't cut corners, only complete systems with premium warranties. And we keep you informed every step of the way. We're detailed, thorough, and clean, and we make it affordable, with financing available as low as 0% and same as cash plans. We're not just roofing houses, we're earning trust one neighbor at a time. Call Absolute Restoration.
For more than 100 years, First Choice Bank has provided dedicated community banking to North Mississippi. The banking products and services you need when you need them. At First Choice, you're our priority. Make First Choice your choice for banking.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Good evening, Gabe. We're coming to you from Lake Minnewanka in the Banff National Park here up in Banff, Canada. You can see behind me the clouds as we've been shrouded in kind of some rainfall off and on through the day, so not quite as clear as what we had yesterday, but just kind of beautiful vistas. This lake that we're at here has been inhabited for more than 13,000 years by human life, according to archaeological records, and is obviously pretty high up here in the mountains. It's actually the only lake where motorized vehicles are allowed. Anyway, kind of a cool shot. It's been kind of a cool and sort of dreary day. We're hoping things clear up so we can get up on top of some of these mountains and check out some of the vistas. But just wanted to give you kind of an update on how things are going up here in Canada as we continue to enjoy some of the beautiful conditions here. From Banff National Park up here in Canada, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon for Mississippi Live Weather.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, Matt, it feels like you're bringing the colder air down here. I'm not going to say cold, cooler at least, but a lot of that due to those rain chances that you're even getting up there in Canada. So just a rainy, cooler forecast all across the North American continent, I guess altogether. But taking a look outside, we're dealing with those isolated showers, even popping up there in Carroll County. But basically, you could take a screenshot of this picture, apply it anywhere, and it would be applicable because it's raining all across North Mississippi with these isolated scattered showers. Terry capturing that right there. I love the glow from the sunlight between the cloud cover. I mean, that is just a stunning sight. And you're even getting some blue skies. So some breaks in that cloud cover, some breaks in that those rain chances will allow us to enjoy at least bits and pieces of our Friday night. And that's really the key going forward. So taking a look at our Mississippi Live Weather radar, a lot of those showers, a lot of those bands just continue to wrap around that low. This is over the last hour or so. We're not seeing a high output of lightning, but about 100 strikes over the entirety of North Mississippi here in the last 10 minutes or so. That's a decent bit, but with how much rainfall we're seeing, that's definitely not showing that a lot of these storms are being energetic. A lot of these storms just a light to moderate rainfall. We'll take that. That's exactly what we need here midsummer, especially for any farmers that are out there that are looking to get those crops planted. I know they are loving, not planted. Planting season's already happened. It's watering season now and growing season, so they want rainfall. So this is a great recipe for success, especially over the past 6 hours. I mean, we're talking about rain totals in and out of an inch to an inch and a half in some locations, and those just continue to build heading further into our evening. I'm curious to see by 10 p.m. just how high some of those rain rates are in some of those locations, but it's been a, I'm not going to say an overly dreary forecast, just a more active forecast than what we've previously had. Usually with these tropical systems, we get high wind gusts as well, but I'm not seeing too high of wind gusts. We're talking about 10 to 15 miles an hour sustained winds with a lot of those bands, but those gusts, that's really where you get the story, and we're talking 20 to 25, 26 coming in around Grenada, 20 New Albany and Tupelo, and even over and around Boonville. So wind gusts about 20 to 30, but wind speeds probably about 5 to 10 sustained wind speeds as those storms roll on through. Temperature-wise, though, this is the sight that we just love to see, except in Greenville. Greenville and Cleveland, should I say, low 90s, but everywhere else, low to mid 80s. We're talking 81 Starkville. That is something we haven't seen down in Starkville at this time of day in about what, a week or two? What do we think in Starkville resident?
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So yeah, an 82 towards Iuka. So it's a much better forecast temperature-wise. Just have to deal with a few of those rain chances. And where we're getting those highest temperatures, I mean, it's no surprise that we're getting those heat advisories still in effect through this evening until 9 p.m. So that's just a sign of a drier forecast out there, which allows for those temperatures to build just a bit more. But all of that does change for basically everybody as we head further into our weekend. Looking at that day planner, I mean, those showers do stick around into the overnight hours and well past sunset too. That's that abnormality that we're getting with this system that we typically don't have on a summer day. Once the daytime heating is up, the showers basically dissipate and become pretty much nothing. But with this system lingering right over the top of us, a lot of those rain chances do stick around overnight, but still isolated in coverage. It's just the fact that we have storms possible, that's a bit of a difference. So into our evening and overnight hours, you can see how those showers do dissipate out. That sun does matter for strengthening these as well. So once that sun does set, a lot of these just become light to moderate showers. Further into the night, though, you can see a few of these definitely trying to wrap around and bring in some heavy rainfall and some electric skies with those lightning strikes, but overall, I'm not having an overly active pattern into our 10 o'clock hour. It's just going to be those storms that linger south of Highway 82. Further into the night, though, watch how a lot of these showers, yes, dissipate out, and they're very light in nature, but then there's a few that try to develop, and where they catch the right boundary, start to develop more and strengthen more. I'm not talking about severe weather, but we could see 30 to 40 mile an hour gust out of a few of these, especially as they build the right way. So we are tracking that into the overnight hours, but overall it's still a very light forecast when it comes to rainfall totals. So maybe 1/100 of an inch here, 1/100 of an inch there. Some locations where the rain falls just right, we're talking up to 1/4 of an inch. So that is something that will be added on top of the totals that we did get today. And Caleb, I'm going to ask if you could zoom in on this just a bit more so we can highlight our area in particular. So looking at Futurecast, this is about 5:30 on our Saturday. And zooming in on our area, we're talking about some showers that try to move into the area and try to develop more and more. And by early morning hours, we will see a few of those at least get on the stronger side with a few rumbles of thunder and 20, 30, maybe even 40 mile an hour wind gust. But then you get into the mid to late morning and watch how this cluster of cells start to merge together just a bit more and produce a bit more of a significant storm as we head further into our late morning, early afternoon. The main area that I'm watching is this leading edge that could start to jut out just a bit. And whenever we get that, we get stronger wind gusts. It's a bow echo is what we call it. And you'll really see it right here by about 1:30. You can see how they merge together and you have that leading edge right there. That's where we're watching for some strong wind gust outputs. Now, if this were to happen, it's that cluster merging together, all that energy unified in one source, that allows for these to really start to build. Would not be surprised if they at least tried to become severe, but I still think with the environment that we're in, it's going to be a very big uphill battle that will be tough for it to conquer. So I'm not expecting severe weather possible tomorrow, but definitely watching a few of these thunderstorms be on the stronger side of our forecast. So by 3 p.m., still those showers and storms moving into Florence, Russellville, Haleyville, on south into Gordo and Reform. It's going to be that leading edge we're watching for those strongest wind gusts and, of course, strongest rainfall totals. But a few of those isolated cells on the back end by 4 or 5 o'clock, still at least trying to be a little bit on the stronger side with heavy rain outputs, lots of lightning there. You see that one cell over in Caledonia, other ones down in southern Oktibbeha County and towards Chula. I mean, they're at least trying. It's those rain bands just wrapping around that low. And as that low moves north and east, those rain bands do go with it. So into the evening, those rain chances do fizzle on out just a bit. But still, looking at rainfall totals, and you'll have to zoom in on a graphic here in a second again, Caleb. But you see 1/100 of an inch here, 100th of an inch there. Over in some areas, though, we're getting up to a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Now, where these thunderstorms line up, if they slow down just a bit, you could be upwards of 1 inch to 2 inches. So isolated heavy rainfall possible, but overall not expecting a widespread flooding threat across North Mississippi. Saturday evening, all those showers and storms do start to become much less significant, talking light to moderate rainfall. And by 10 p.m., we're seeing a much drier and calmer forecast overnight into our Sunday morning. So waking up, heading out the door for church, still on the drier side. And further into the mid to late morning, we'll see a few isolated showers try to develop, but it's just an uphill battle. A lot of those really going to be picking up towards the afternoon. That's really our time frame we're watching. Early to mid-afternoon, really picking up in coverage, but towards the late afternoon, those start to move northeast with that low pressure center. And then all of the rain chances kind of follow suit. We're going to see a much drier forecast beyond this point. So Sunday, kind of the last batch of showers and storms before we see a much calmer forecast heading into the next several days. So here's our forecasted rainfall totals, 1/100th of an inch for a few locations, maybe up to a 1/10 of an inch in some spots where those storms do line up. But there you see the highest chances of rainfall way up north and east of our viewing area for Sunday, and that sets the scene for the drier forecast into the week. So for your weekend, 89 degrees for Saturday, 92 on Sunday. That's a degree on Sunday, but 3 or 4 degrees below average for where we typically be this time of year for Saturday and Sunday. So that's a great sign of things to come. A lot of it due to these rain chances. But you can see Sunday, it's going to be hit or miss showers and storms. So we're going to see a slightly drier forecast for Sunday before that dry air really kicks in towards early parts of next week. Monday, Tuesday, isolated in nature, and by Wednesday and Thursday, we're pretty much a mostly dry forecast. So that drier air, yes, it does come back. If you don't like the rain, it's not around here forever, but there is something that you have to sacrifice, and that's that cooler weather. As that heat does build, mid-90s for the start of next week, upper 90s. Yes, we could be talking triple digits in a few locations by Wednesday and Thursday, especially if that sunshine just lines up just right. It's not exactly a recipe for success, and I do expect heat advisories and heat warnings to be issued by midweek as that heat does build back. So we'll be back here tonight talking about these temperatures and those feels like values, walking you through what to expect by midweek next week, but also walking you through the temperatures we're getting this weekend and the great weather that we're having with this rain-cooled air. Just gotta, again, have that umbrella handy. So line up any questions that you guys have for tonight at 6. We'll talk to our Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lopon, out in the field again, walking us through the cooler forecast there in Canada. Hope he's having a great day today as well. But we will talk all about that and much more coming up here in the next 40 minutes, lined up just right. But before we go ahead and go, I want you guys to go ahead and bring out your phones, scan the QR code on your screen, take you to the nearest app store to download the Mississippi Live Weather on your phone today. Gives you the latest and greatest information that you need to go about your day, walks you through these rain chances. I've been getting alerts on my phone, and you even get the lightning alerts, of course, letting you know some stronger storms are trying to move your way. So all that can be provided right at the palm of your hands. You guys enjoy it, and we'll see you right back here in about 40 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us. See you here shortly.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that. Oh boy.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lopon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lopon has proven himself trustworthy.